Hi. The last time I made a video, it was about CBD oil. And I was talking about how I thought it was helping. Well, I took it for like 6 weeks, and it did help with the nausea. But as far as anything else, I could not tell that it helped at all. Now, the company I was ordering from, um, when I got it, the capsule did not look real dark like the CBD oil I had been looking at on the internet, the ones that had made it that was so concentrated. So I knew it was not real concentrated, but I still wanted to give it a shot, so I did take it for 6 weeks. But it's a high price to pay, $100 a month just for nausea. So I had just sort of given up on it. But I started researching, and one of the groups that I'm on Facebook, they had been researching all the oils too. And come to find out, many of the companies do not put very much CBD in it, and it's not regulated, so we don't have any way to tell how much CBD is in there, even though ours didn't have THC, the one I was taking. You can't tell how much CBD is in there, so you might only be getting just a tad, not enough to really help. It was enough for nausea, but not enough to really help me with pain or anything else. So after reading that, I decided, well, it's probably just because there was not much in there, and I decided to go ahead and try CBD oil again, so I'm going to try some. This is going to be the real CBD oil. Um, I'm getting it privately, and it's made, the person that's making it, I for sure know that it's going to have everything in there that it's supposed to have. Now, I have some distressing news. I went to my doctor today, and this is a contract. I told my doctor that I was taking CBD oil, and I said it doesn't have the THC in it, but it might show up, in a drug screen. So he was a fourth-year resident, so he went out to talk to the attending, and when he came back, he had this contract. He said, we're going to have you sign this contract. He said, it's not anything that it's not my decision. It's not, what I would want to do, but it is the Texas Tech Physicians of Lubbock Department of Internal Medicine controlled substance contract, and since you told me that you're using CBD oil and it might show up in your drug screen, I'm going to have you take this. And because anytime they give you pain pills, they do drug screenings instead. I didn't know that. So I've had a lot of drug screens, but this will be the first time that the CBD oil. He said, now with this contract, they cannot give you pain medicine if you come back. If your drug test comes back and you have CBD in it or any other medicine other than what they're prescribing, then they will never prescribe you any more pain medicine. Well, now that is pretty harsh because this is internal medicine includes neurology, pulmonology, orthopedics, um, endocrinology. It's everything. It, that would include every doctor that I see because all my doctors are in that department except rheumatology, and that's the only one it wouldn't show. So I looked at him and I said, I'm just amazed because I've already told you that I'm taking the CBD oil. He said, yeah, but that the attending said if it came back positive, they wouldn't know if I was smoking it or taking the oil. People could lie about it and say they're taking the oil with smoking. And I wanted to say, well, what difference would it make? But that's their law. That's their rules. I can't do anything about it. It's what I feared, that I thought they might just drop me altogether. And I said, so if you see that it's in there, or will you drop me as a patient? And he said, no, we just won't ever prescribe you any pain meds. Well, can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine not being able to. What if you broke your ankle? No pain meds. Broke a hip. No pain. That is serious when you stop and think about it. And then he gave me a copy of this contract. So he said, we're not going to do blood tests on you today because you would test positive for CBD. So we're going to wait 3 months, and when you come back, we'll do the, routine blood test, which includes that test. and I do not know what to do. I mean, I'm going to take that CBD oil. Um, it's already been ordered, and I want to try the real stuff. It's got everything in it, even the THC, because after doing many, many, many hours of research, the THC is what helps a lot of these ailments. It's not just the CBD. It's the THC and the combination. You need both of them. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I cried all the way home. You know, I'm just trying to take something that would help me. I told him I have never smoked marijuana in my life. I'm just trying this. I said, this is 2014. There is research everywhere out there. I said, they've even approved it now for helping children with epilepsy or seizures. And he said, and I'm going to do a lot of research on it, he said, this is interesting. I guess I'm the first person to ever mention this. This is a huge teaching hospital with, uh, you know, they did the first bone marrow transplant ever there. And I'm just like, they do everything there. I mean, they do organ transplants. They do, it's just, it's a level 1 trauma center, has the best burn center in Texas. It's not just your, you know, little country hospital. It's a huge doctor, that huge place that turns out lots of good doctors. And supposed to be the leading, cutting edge in research. Cancer research, they're, you know, everything. So I said, I cannot believe that. I said, is there any trials or anything going on here with CBD? Because I'd love to be in it. He said, not that he knows of, but he's going to research it. But I knew I was going to run into this. I felt like it. So basically, I cannot get any pain meds from these people anymore if I test positive for CBD. And that is a scary thought because all my doctors are there except my rheumatologist. Now, when I go to my rheumatologist, he may have me do the same thing. No, I signed a contract with him the first time I saw him, but they test you every time you go. It's just routine with them. They test you. Now, if he says the same thing, I am sunk. Well, number one, I can't get any pain pills, which I don't take a lot of, but sometimes I have to. Sometimes I absolutely have to take one. But not only that, but if I had a serious injury, I wouldn't be able to get pain pills. You know, like when I hurt my ankle, or just can think of any time that you might have taken a pain pill, and now I won't be able to have that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the CBD oil. They're going to retest me in 3 months, and then I guess it'll come back positive, and I won't be able to get them. But you know what? I don't know what else to do. If anybody's got any ideas, let me know. I'm very distressed about it, but if it's something that will help me, if this oil, this is the real oil, I mean, made in a private place that you know the ingredients are what they're supposed to be, with what it's supposed to have in it, if it helps me, oh my gosh. You know, the one that wasn't regulated, that probably didn't have hardly anything in it, helped my nausea, so I can't imagine the concentrated good stuff that you only have to take. They said a grain of rice, you know how big a grain of rice is, you only take half the size of a grain of rice. Little tiny bit, so concentrated, that you just take a little dab the size of half a grain of rice. That's not much. That's how concentrated it is. So we'll see. I'm going to see if it helps me, but God forbid if I come back. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's a scary thought, but, you know, I worry so much about these drugs hurting my liver. I have a first cousin that was diagnosed with liver failure. She has never drank in her life. It's all from medication that she's taken, and not pain pills, from medicine for high blood pressure and for diabetes. And I don't like putting all these medications in my system because it can cause liver and kidney problems. So if it's an herb, if it's something natural, why not try it? And if it works, stop those awful meds. Well, that's enough on that. But if any of you have any ideas, please let me know, because I would really like your opinion. Thank you very much. God bless from West Texas. Bye bye.